Hello everyone. Let us study about light and shadow. Light enables us to see objects around us. So there are some objects which allow light to pass through them and some objects which do not allow light to pass through them. So today we will study about light. How do we see things around us? Shadow, formation of shadow at different times of the day, movement of the earth, formation of day and night. So first thing we will study is about light. Light helps us to see things around us. So we see things around us only with the help of light. We have two types of light sources. The sources of light is an object that produces light is called the sources of light. So there are two sources of light, natural source of light and artificial source of light. Natural source of light are those sources of light which are obtained from our nature. Artificial source of light is man-made. They include lamp, bulb, matches, etc. And natural sources are sun, stars, and firefly. The important property of light is that light travels in a straight line. Light cannot bend around objects. If light could bend, we have been able to see things behind a high brick wall. We would also be able to see inside all the rooms of our homes while standing downstairs. So when a straw or a tube is straight, we can see light. When the pipe or the straw is bent, we cannot see light. Some objects allow light to pass through them. They are called transparent. Some objects which allow partial light to pass through them, they are called translucent. And some objects do not allow light to pass through them, they are called opaque objects. Opaque objects do not allow light to pass through them, so shadow is formed. So, shadow. When an opaque object comes in front of light, it blocks the light and forms a dark patch called shadow. A shadow is always formed on the opposite side of the light. When we block sunlight, the shadow of our body is formed. When we move, our shadow also moves along us. So when light strikes on an object, some light reflects when there is an obstacle in the way of light and it cannot pass. There is no light to reflect and thus shadow is formed. Shadow is having different length at different times of this day. When we move out of our house, the length of the position of a shadow in sunlight is different at different times of the day. Sun appears to move across the sky from morning to evening. The shape and the length of the shadow changes as well. Shadow is longest in the morning and in late afternoon. They are shortest in the noon when the sun is overhead. Another important part of the chapter is movements of the earth. Before we go to movement of earth, we should know characteristics of shadow. It is always either large or same size as that of the object. It's always black in color. The position changes depending upon the source of light. It needs a screen for being formed. The earth also is a planet that moves around the sun in a fixed path which is called orbit. Earth shows two types of movement, rotation and revolution. What is rotation? The Earth spins around its own axis in an imaginary line that passes through its center. The spinning moment of the Earth around its axis is called rotation. Earth takes about 24 hours to complete one rotation. The movement of the Earth around the Sun on its orbit is called revolution. The orbit of the Earth is an imaginary path. Earth takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete one revolution. It plays an important role in the changes of season, formation of day and night. The rotation of the earth causes the formation of day and night. As earth rotates, one half of it faces the sun, the other part of the earth gets the light from the sun, has a day. The other half of the earth faces away from the sun and has night. India and United States of America are located on two opposite sides and of the earth. When India faces the sun and has day, USA faces the sun and has night. Similarly, when India has night, USA has day. Eclipse is an important event which occurs in the sky when the celestial body is partially or completely hidden by another celestial body. This happens when three celestial bodies are in straight line. The revolution of the moon around the earth, the rotation of the earth, and the revolution of the earth around the sun causes eclipse on the earth. Now, there are two types of eclipse. Solar eclipse. In a solar eclipse, when the moon comes between the earth and the sun. So, the shadow of the moon is cast on the earth. During solar eclipse, the moon hides the sun from the earth either partially or totally. The solar eclipse are of two types: total solar eclipse and partial solar eclipse. Total solar eclipse occurs when the sun is totally hidden by the moon. A partial solar eclipse occurs when only a portion of the sun is hidden by the moon. Never look at the sky directly, either during the solar eclipse. It may lead to permanent damage of the eyes and even cause loss of sight. Wear specially designed eclipse glasses that have been tested to be safe uh, to view the solar eclipse. However, it is best to view projected images of the eclipse sun on the ground instead. Lunar eclipse occurs when the earth comes in between the sun and the moon, such that the shadow of the earth is cast on the moon. A lunar eclipse happens when only in the night, that is usually during the full moon day. This hides the moon from the earth either partially or totally. A lunar eclipse can be of the following two types: total lunar eclipse and partial lunar eclipse. Total lunar eclipse occurs when the moon is totally hidden by the earth, and partial lunar eclipse is when the moon is partially hidden by the earth. Umbra and penumbra are the two types where the shadow, that is the darkest shadow part of the formed when the light is completely blocked out. The region where only a portion of the light or the sources is obscured. That means the darkest part of the shadow is called umbra and the lightest part is called as the penumbra. Today we studied about light, how do we see things, shadow, formation of shadow at different times of the day, movement of earth, formation of day and night. Hope you enjoyed my class. Keep watching for more videos. Bye.